There's a lot of reasons why people get on the road. Adventure, try to live cheap, to relocate and explore, a retirement dream. But in this video, I want to share with you 3 reasons why people get off the road. I'm speaking from my 4 years of actual experience living in a car. And when you listen to other videos and when you speak to other people, ask them how long have they been living in their vehicle or RV. And there's a difference between living in a car or van, which is more primitive, than living in an RV, which is like a house on wheels. But the number one reason why people get off the road is you get tired of dealing with the public. This is underrated and under talked about, and it wouldn't have been number 1 on my list even a year ago. But as my journey unfolds, I become more irritated with dealing with the public at large. I know how to deal with people. I know how to have self-control. I know how to, operate in society. So I still function very normally. But most people living in their car cannot function at a high level of normalcy. Look, someone just pulled up right next to me. For some people, it's no big deal. But after 4 years, and after trying to have some privacy because you have no privacy, because you have no living room, you have no dining room. So you decide that, you know what, I'm not going to bother anyone. I'm going to go park in the side of a parking lot. Someone decides to come right next to you, even though there's 10 spaces, as I look at right now, on both sides of me. And that wears on you. In addition to driving, which is fun, but also navigating traffic and not getting in an accident, dealing with road rage. That's the public. Going to Starbucks to grab your coffee instead of making it in the privacy of your own house. Initially, that to me, and I still like it, where it's fun to go to Starbucks because they have better coffee. You don't have to worry about having coffee filters, making it your own. But going into Starbucks, there's a long line. Sometimes you're dealing with very young workers, no fault of theirs, but they're young and they really don't. Sometimes they don't know how to punch it in the register what you're ordering. Sometimes your thing is not correct. And it starts to wear on you. Having no steady place to park every night and privacy, that starts to wear on you. Going to the gym, whether Planet Fitness or another one, and just not being able to walk around in your own shower and groom yourself in your own time becomes another irritation. And this past year, I got a second gym membership that has a little bit more private showers. It cost a little bit more than Planet Fitness, but I needed to get some privacy. So the number 1 reason is you're going to get irritated with people on the road. Don't listen to people who are not on the road yet or have this daydream, which is fine. They're in a season of excitement and planning, but they're not full-time on the road. And what I found is many people that are even, some people online, they tell you like rip the seats out of your car, do this, do that, and come to find out they're living in an apartment. They're not even living in their car. It's like they just want to talk. The number 2 reason why you'll get off the road is because you're not going to save as much money as you think. Most people I've met, they'll live in their car. They're not workers or they're not hard workers. They do a little bit of work and then they stop, or they're living on Social Security or disability. They're not functioning at a high level of work capacity even before they were living in their car or van or RV. So you're dealing with lazy, apathetic, sometimes underachievers. And so they're trying to live on poverty, and they're not going to save as much as they think. Okay. And for those who are fully retired or able to work remotely, you're definitely going to be able to save money, especially if you're a higher earner. But you are also financially literate, so you realize that, if I got a cheap apartment or if I adjusted my budget in other areas, I'm not saving that much that it's worth the aggravation that I put up with. The reason it's worth someone to stay on the road is because of the flexibility. To move from New Jersey to Florida, which I did, to maybe you're not ready to fully be able to move to a different state or whatever, so you just need to liquidate and be flexible. Maybe you want to explore. So you need to be on wheels because you need the number one asset of the nomad life, flexibility, but you also understand financial literacy, where you realize that no matter what, you have a budget. Whether you live in an apartment, a house, or whatever, no matter what, you have a budget. And you can adjust your budget based on the type of lifestyle you want to live. And if you want to live the lifestyle of on the road, then, you could easily discipline yourself and come up with a budget that will show some savings. But if you also look at, if you rented a small apartment or whatever, it wouldn't be that much of a dramatic savings. And so then you're just saying, I just like the lifestyle better. And again, I think over time, most people won't like the lifestyle more because it's a primitive life and it's a little bit more aggravating. Maybe not as exciting. It's not as exciting to live in your house or apartment, but the excitement of living on the road wears over a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Okay. The number 3 reason why people get off the road is because they don't have a routine, and the lack of stability of being on the road full time, not part time, not seasonal, but living in your vehicle full time, whether RV or car now, that instability, which was seen during the coronavirus, and it's seen even without the coronavirus, is you're not as stable, as anchored, as planted as someone who's in a conforming apartment or a house. And humans are creatures of habit. Humans are creatures of habit, not creatures of adaptation. It's rare when you see someone that has the ability to adapt consistently. Okay, it's a miracle. It's a butterfly. Most people are turtles. Okay, they hide in their shell in their house. They fucking stick their head out to eat something, and they fucking stick their head right back in the shell. They're turtles, not butterflies. Okay? Humans do not want to adapt. Humans do not want to be on the incliner. They want to be on the recliner. Humans don't want to go to the gym and be on the recliner. They want to be on the recliner, watching life, not living life. Okay? And that's exposed after a certain amount of time on the road. You realize that you're not above average, you're average. Okay? And you need to put your ass back in a recliner. Okay? And even for me, guys, I would say, look, I'm not yearning to go back on the recliner, but I'm certainly not yearning to stay out on the road for no reason. I mean, it has to have a purpose. My purpose was to get down to Florida, cut my bills to a certain extent because I was living probably a little bit too above my means when I was in New Jersey, and retirement early. And so I could achieve probably the last objective, living in a different circumstance, whether RV or a cheap rental or cheap house. So for me, that's where I'm at now, But though that's, guys, that's wisdom, what I just broke down. Some people want to hear it. Some people don't. Some people want to watch the movie The No Man Land, where basically it's a sales pitch. Okay. It's a capitalization off a life that most people cannot endure. Okay. And most people will not endure it for the 3 reasons I just listed. Remember, if you retire, are you going to be on the road for more than 4 years? Remember that, are you saving money now? If not, why not? Is it just because of rent, or is it because you're not a hard worker, you're not a good budgeter, and you're living in poverty already? So it's like, you just got to think about that. How do you deal with adaptation? How do you deal with the fact that your store is not open? How do you deal with the fact that something changed in your life? How do you deal with the fact that there's a detour on the road? How do you deal with the fact that things aren't the way they always were? Do you deal with change well? Most people don't. And again, just another reason why people get off the road. So if these videos help you in some way, click the blue join button, support the channel. Thank you to all my members. And bottom line is, keep pushing forward, keep showing up. And it is what it is, guys. I don't really have much else to say. All right? Peace.